I'm guessing a lot of you would have heard this abbreviation PTSD. So I just want to give you like a quick introduction about what PTSD is. PTSD is known as post-traumatic stress disorder, and just like various other disorders that exist, you understand the meaning from the term itself. So an individual goes through a very traumatic event in their life which disrupts their day-to-day activities and causes a certain amount of stress in their life, and hence they're diagnosed with PTSD. It is not necessary that you need to be in a particular age limit to be diagnosed with PTSD. Anyone can be diagnosed with PTSD, from a child to an adult to a really old age person. It depends on the amount of trauma that the individual goes through. For example, one might go through some amount of physical assault, some amount of sexual assault. They would have witnessed a tsunami or an earthquake or soldiers from a war, and it necessarily not have to be something very traumatic. Even the loss of a really close family member or a friend, or a loss or like a major accident could also cause trauma to an individual. On the baseline, it's divided into two types. One is an individual witnesses the traumatic event from a third person perspective, like someone who's very close to them has undergone some amount of traumatic event or has a traumatic experience. And the other one, which is the main one, is that the individual himself or herself goes through the traumatic event or the experience which disrupts the day-to-day activities of life. If we have to talk about both in general, initially they have a stage of denial where they're not able to accept the fact that something is wrong and something is causing amount of stress in their life. And when these traumatic events play scenarios in one's head continuously, they have a phase of being really confused. And two of the major symptoms for both children and adults are they both have a lot of flashbacks and a lot of nightmares related to the experience or the entire scenario of the traumatic event. So physical symptoms are the individual faces chills, they shiver, and they have discrepancies in their eating habits, in their sleeping habits, and some might even develop self-destructive behavior, which could also include a consumption of a lot of alcohol and some amount of drugs. And in terms of kids, it's very important to be able to identify when something is slightly wrong also in the behavior of a child, because as children, they're not able to understand what causes them sadness. So in their language, they're just sad. So, and they're not able to smile, they're not able to laugh or play around like the other children of their age. So they might land up reenacting the traumatic event or something that would have happened in their life in terms of plays, in terms of the games they play with people, or even like the slight amount of changes in their facial expressions when met with a person who would have caused the traumatic event or a situation. It's really important to not overlook it and like to understand why the child reacts in a certain way. And children tend to have a lot of flashbacks and nightmares more often because they have all these emotions and thoughts and feelings bottled up, and they're not able to explain it in languages that we are able to understand. So they might even fear that they are in a space where they might be wrong, and the person or the event or the situation that caused them stress is right. So it's really important to reach out and to always be able to look out for the children and be able to understand what causes a certain amount of stress, and then like take them to like a professional and help them undergo therapies and help them overcome the entire situation. Another important question that we get asked a lot is that why is that two people who undergo some amount of traumatic event, while one is diagnosed with PTSD and the other isn't. So there are a variety of factors that play a role in this. So the first one, age being a major factor. So people below the age of 25 tend to generalize the traumatic event and not just see it as an individual event. So when they tend to generalize it, every emotion becomes a triggering factor within every phase of their life, for the very basic factor that their cognitive development still continues developing until the age of 25. And after this, the intensity and severity of the problem becomes a major factor as to how severe was the traumatic event that caused stress in the person's life. And on the same line, another important factor is genes. Yeah, you heard me right. Genes play an indirect but a major role, because when you inherit the weaker variation of the genes, your brain is mostly not able to transport the mood stabilizing serotonin, the neurotransmitter, which is why certain individuals become more prone to developing depression or post-traumatic stress disorder immediately after a traumatic event, while others don't. And finally, another important reason is the coping mechanisms and your ability to have resistance towards a particular situation or a event that has caused you stress. So it also depends on your coping mechanisms as to how resilient and how you are able to cope up with something and look at it as an individual event or an individual scenario, rather than combining every other aspect of your life with it, which becomes a little bit more easier for you to overcome a particular event. So it's not your entire life that you have to overcome, but it's just a small phase of your life. But any of these exceeds more than 3 weeks or a month, it is really recommended to seek for medical help and to meet a medical professional or a therapist. When you have some amount of thoughts and emotions that are occurring in your life, which cause a lot of stress in your day-to-day life activities, and they're prolonged for a period of more than 3 weeks to 1 month, it is really important and necessary to seek for medical help and medical advice. People sometimes tend to even get suicidal thoughts, and on those lines, it is very important to always make sure, or like to keep an eye and to look out for people that you care about and people around you on a baseline to make sure they're okay. And if you find any changes in their behavior that is not usual, it's really important to like help them get through the whole process by being there for them, which really makes a difference in one's life. And when it comes to treatment, so these psychotherapists, they mainly help you learn coping mechanisms and help you manage your symptoms and how you can overcome it. On the baseline, it's known as psychotherapy, and there are various types of psychotherapies, and one really famous and well known is CBT, and I hope all of you know it's cognitive behavioral therapy. So in this therapy, in very simple words, the therapist helps you identify those thoughts that have altered your emotions and feelings due to the traumatic event. So they help you understand all of those changes and help you cope with it and get better. And this also leads to another form of therapy, which is family therapy, because when an individual undergoes PTSD, the entire family goes through some amount of stress. So it is very important that the family understands the importance of the treatment and what the treatment is, what the disorder is, and all of that. Another therapy is group therapy. Group therapy might not work for everyone, but sometimes it will, because there are people who are not comfortable with opening up about the traumatic event or talk about their feelings and the intense emotion that they go through. So on those lines, it's they prefer talking to a therapist like on a one-on-one session, which might happen over a period of months until they recover. But apart from that, group therapy also really helps, because you're put in a room with people who have also undergone traumatic events in their life. It's very generic, and I think everyone needs to understand is that we as people and as individuals need to be more mindful and more aware about our own emotions and the emotions and behavioral changes of the people around us, because by just being aware of it, you could really help someone out there get over or get through something that they're going through, which you're not really able to talk to you about on a initial stage. So just be more aware about your surrounding and the people that you live with.